Hey everyone, Laurens Olsem here, Awesome Worship Tutorials. And today's guitar lesson is about learning the guitar notes on the guitar neck. So let's get started. So why is it important to learn all those guitar notes? Well, you will benefit from it for sure if you're a good guitar player. Even if you're not a good guitar player, you will benefit from it for sure. Especially if you don't know how to play the same chord at different places of the guitar neck yet. So for example, an A. Or if you want to know the root note when you're playing a solo over a jam track or a song. Or if you're playing in a different key. It's also important to know all the guitar notes, or when you're playing with a capo, especially if you want to know which chords or notes you're really playing. So yeah, it's very crucial to know this information, this theory behind it all. So let's get started. First of all, the music alphabet only consists out of 7 notes. So that's different than the original alphabet. It starts from A to B, C, D, F. Oh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then it starts over again, so you're 1 octave higher. So after G, we're going back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So after C comes the D. And after D comes the E, etc. Same goes for all the guitar notes on the guitar neck. So that's an easy thing to memorize. So you need to be aware of 2 terms, and one of those terms is called 1 semitone. It's also known as a half step. That means we're moving up or down in frets. So we're moving up or down in 1 semitone or a half step. And we have this music term called 2 semitones. So that basically means 2 steps, so a whole step. And those terms we can apply to know all the guitar notes on the string. So for example, let's take the top string. This is an E note, the E string. So that's why they call it that, of course. And after E comes F. A, B, C, D, E, F. So do we need to move up by 1 semitone, a half step, or 2 semitones, a whole step? Well, a basic thing to memorize, a trick for it, it's basically for the E to F and for the B to C, that's an exception. We're just moving up by half step. And for all the other notes, so from D to E or from C to D, we're moving up by a whole step, so 2 semitones. So the first one is an E. So which note is the next one? It's an F, and that was an exception, so a half step. This is an F note. From F to G was no exception, so a whole step. This is a G note. From G to A, because the alphabet of music stops at G, so it starts over again. From G to A is a whole step, no exception. From A to B, a whole step. This is a B note. From B to C, it's an exception, so a half step. This is a C note. From C to D, a whole step. And from D to E, a whole step as well. And then we're back at our root note, the E. So it's the same note, only 1 octave higher. And this trick you can apply for any string on the guitar. So let's pick the second bottom string, the B string for example. After B comes C. So from B to C, it was an exception. So we're only moving up by a half step. From C to D, a whole step. This is the D note. From D to E, a whole step. From E to F, we had an exception, so a half step. From F to G, a whole step. G to A, because the alphabet stops at G and starts over at A, a whole step. This is an A note. From A to B, a whole step. And then we're basically back at our root note, because this is a B string. It's the same note, only 1 octave higher. So that's an easy way to memorize and figure out all the guitar notes on the guitar neck. So one more thing, we left some notes out of it. When we went from F to G, we did a whole step. So what is this note in between called? Well, it depends. If you're moving up, we're gonna place an accidental sign behind it, a character. so we're calling it a sharp. So we're coming from an F, so we're moving up, so we're calling it an F sharp. If we're moving here from G to A, there's a note in between as well. So what is this called? We're going up, so it's called a G sharp. If we're going from here, from the A, one up, it's called an A sharp. And if we move up from here, we got this exception stuff, B to C. So after the C, we're moving up one again, a C sharp, etc, etc. So this note is special because it can be called, it depends on if you go up or down, what to call it. So when we're going up, we're calling it an F sharp, for example. But when we're moving down, we're calling it a flat. So when I move down from G, I'm calling this a G flat. But when I'm moving up from here, I'm calling it an F sharp. So why those two different names? It's basically because it depends on in which key you're really playing. So don't worry about it just yet. But this is very good to practice and to memorize. So try to figure it out. I hope this tip and this trick can help you out to figure out all the notes on the guitar neck. And you should learn it so you can play the same chord at different places, knowing the root notes when you want to play a solo or start practicing it, knowing your skills and stuff like that. It's very important, especially especially if you want to benefit from it as a guitar player and become better as well. So this music theory can help you out a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this guitar lesson. Start practicing it and figure out which notes it really is. Start figuring out how to play the D. You already know this D probably. How to play it on somewhere else on the guitar neck. So where's the D note? We know this is the D note. So stuff like that. Try to play songs with the same chords on different places of the neck. So just figure it out a little bit, and when you're playing with a capo, try to figure out which chords you're really playing. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and God bless. We'll see you guys next time. Later.